Oh, okay. And my stream bot is not working. 1 second, lads. I could not see your guys' messages from YouTube. Okay. Okay, now. Okay. Mute for YouTube. Wait, this link, is that wrong? Oh, it is wrong. Oh, damn it. My bad, lads. Thank you. Okay, I'll just quickly make it bright. Okay, beautiful. Howdy, lads. Hopefully you can see the right link and able to see the title today of today's video. How you guys doing though? Sorry for being late, man. I'm just too tired today. My body was like, I don't know what happened. My body shut down. But good part is today the weather is better. It's -4, so I can actually go for a walk. Wrench, really? Not this guy. Toggle track. Dude. Okay, let me start the timer so we can get started. Today we will be covering 2 rooms, hopefully, with our stuff. I'm just starting the timer, so we'll start in 1 minute, getting everybody ready. Hopefully you guys have the rooms link ready. We are going to start with subdomain enumeration today. And we'll also do authentication bypass. So this is Brave. I have things open in Brave already. So we can get started faster. And where is the other link? Not this guy. Okay. Oh, I started on Chrome as well. Okay. Okay, and anyways, I'll just give you guys this link. No, do not do that. Do not do that. I have a script for it. I have done some botnet now. Good job. But no, you're not allowed to like DDoS it. Okay. With that being said, let's get started with our subdomain enumeration. Nope, don't. If you want to be evil, just not here, buddy. Not here. Not allowed. Okay. But let's get started with our subdomain enumeration room. We have 6 tasks in this one. Subdomain enumeration, TryHackMe. Learn the various ways of discovering subdomains to expand your attack surface of a target. This is a premium room, so not everybody would have access. So I'll try to complete the whole in one sitting. Then we'll take the whole break, a 5 minutes break. But let's get started with task 1. Brief. Subdomain enumeration is the process of finding valid subdomains for a domain. But why do we do this? We do this to expand our attack surface to try and discover more potential points of vulnerabilities. We will explore 3 different subdomain enumeration methods. First is brute force, second is OSINT, open source intelligence, and third, virtual host. Start the machine and then move on to the next task. But let me, I think a lot of people might be confused with subdomain. What is a subdomain? If you remember yesterday, we were talking about S3 buckets, right? And their method of having URLs was something like this. Bucket name .s3.amazon dot Amazon AWS.com, right? Yes, Jai Mata Di boss. So if you see this domain carefully, right? Here we have subdomains, and that's why we are able to see things. So on AmazonAWS.com, we have our first subdomain is this S3, talking about the service. So if you want to let's say do a pen test on Amazon AWS, right? We need to change maybe this to instead of S3, there might be EC2, which is another service. There could be another one, let's say Route 53, like this. So there can be multiple services we can find using subdomain enumeration, because this is called a subdomain. When your main domain, right, this part, and then there is something before it we are putting. And this is also subdomain, and this is the subdomain of S3 URL, right? Various buckets name. So bucket could be, let's say, YouTube. That could be a bucket name. This is a bucket name. It could be like TryHackMe itself. It could be, let's say, anything can be a bucket name. Let's say my bucket 1, 2, 3. So these are all subdomains, and our job is to find these subdomains on a legitimate website, our client or our target, and see what other websites are connected to the main domain and hack it, right? Or like get inside through those paths. So because every subdomain, think of it, if you are let's say think your website, the URL as the house, right? If you think of URL as a house, every subdomain is like another door you find. Every subdomain is another door, another way you can get inside that house. So what is this? What is a subdomain enumeration method beginning with B? We know is brute force. With O, it is OSINT. And with V is virtual host. Okay. So task 2, OSINT, SSL TLS certificates. When a SSL TLS certificate, basically secure socket layer or transport layer security certificate, is created for a domain by certificate authority, certificate authorities take part in what's called certificate transparency logs. These are publicly accessible logs of every SSL and TLS certificate created by the domain name. The purpose of this certificate transparency logs is to stop malicious and accidentally made certificates from being used. We can use the services to our advantage to discover subdomains belonging to a domain site. Let's say ctr.sh offer a searchable database of certificates that shows current and historical results. So let's have a look. Going back. Open linking. So here we can see, let's say, enter the identity, a certificate fingerprint or certificate sh.id of the certificate. So let's say I go to TryHackMe. Their connection is secure. We can see there is a certificate attached to their system. Let's see if I can get the certificate fingerprint here. Now I want to search. You see certificate fingerprint. Let's say if this is here. Leaf certificate, right? All these operators, right, have this in the transparency logs. These are the logs. Revocation. Let me increase this size. So we have a lot more data. Version, serial number of the certificate, common name, organization. Probably who organization that issued this was Google. Country US, they issued this in. And all the other information. This is good to help you know when you go on google.com, when you go on any website, right? why you get the HTTPS, why certain websites have HTTPS and certain has HTTP, and why there is a, like when you go here, right, the connection is secure. Why there is this lock sign, right? Because the certificate is valid. This is a true certificate, came from a legitimate website. So now we got the certificate, right? What we have to do is, and we know there is a tool with which we can see what certificates are there available in the wild world. Go to cert.sh, search for the domain name TryHackMe, find the entry that was logged on 2020-12-26, enter the domain below to answer the question. So basically what they are saying, hey, on TryHackMe, because all the logs are transparent, right? All the things changes to happen to the domain name, certain domain added or removed, right? All those things should be there. So on 26/12/2020, a domain was added to tryhackme.com, a subdomain. We have to see what it was. So let's go back. Tryhackme.com. We can search with the domain name, right? So if we go based on the date, 2015, there is a lot. Cellprod, US, AP and stuff. These are all virtual machine. There is source, help and stuff. Let's go to, let's just do a quick search. 2020, 12. So we see 2020, 12, 26. It was store.tryhackme, right? On 26. On 29, there was docs.tryhackme and there is blog.tryhackme. We can have a look at those websites too, but for our, at least for this here, we have store.tryhackme.com. Search engines contain trillions of links to more than a billion websites, which can be an excellent source of finding new subdomains. Task 2 complete. Task 3, we are going through search engines, OSINT, right? Search engines like Google contain trillions of links to billions of websites, which can be excellent source of for finding new subdomains. So on Google, we can find new subdomains. Using advanced search methods on websites like Google, such as site filter, can narrow down search results. For example, site, so this will be the wildcard, right? Give me any site which is a subdomain of this domain.com, right? So it will give us, like, for example, www.domain.com, store.domain.com, blah, blah, blah. Would only contain results leading to the domain name domain.com, but exclude any links to www.domain. So we have actually minus sign here. Okay. Therefore, it shows only subdomains belonging to domain.com. So minus sign will be exclude this one. I didn't see the minus sign properly. Sorry. Go to google.com, search term will be give me all the subdomains from tryhackme.com, but not www subdomain, which should reveal subdomain from TryHackMe. Use the subdomain to answer the following question. Which subdomain starts beginning with S discovered on Google search? So we'll just use this. S. We have help coming. So there is a lot of help. So I'm just going to do is help.tryhackme.com. I want to remove help. So we have careers, we have store again. So I'm assuming this will be store. Okay. Task 4, DNS brute force. Brute force DNS, domain name system enumeration, is the part of trying tens, hundreds, or thousands, or even millions of different possible subdomains from a predefined list of commonly used subdomains. Because this method requires many requests, we automate it with tools to make the process quicker. In this instance, we are using a tool called DNS Recon to perform this. Click View Site button to open the static site. Press Run DNS Recon request button to start the simulation, and then answer the below question. I just wanted to show, let's see myself too. Let's say if DNS is in here as well or not. Is DNS part of this? No, it's not. Interesting. So DNS Recon is not part of this attack machine. Interesting. Ankit, howdy bro. A very good evening to you, boss. So for DNS Recon, to give you a little bit idea what DNS is, right? DNS, domain name, right? As we see, domain name system, which we want to brute force. What this whole thing is about is that, let's say you want to reach a website, right? You want to reach a website. You want to use Google's services. Or just like your phone. Actually, I will give you the example from the phone, right? Let's say this is your phone, right? And you want to call your friend. Now, when you want to call your friend, what do? You actually type their name, not the number, right? Because as a human, it's hard. Oh, nice. Good for you, bro. So as a person, it's hard for you to remember the phone numbers, right? You don't remember, let's say, if it was 91123455, whatever the number is. What you remember is, let's say if you want to call, we'll take the example of Ankit. If I want to call Ankit, I don't remember his phone number. I remember his name. So I'm going to search for Ankit. Oh, thank you so much, Vanda. So we are going to search Ankit's name in the phone, right? Neon, what's up, bro? First time, okay. But it's worth noting that TLS can be used with nearly all protocols based on TCP. Yes, that include not just HTTP but also FTP. Yes. Why it won't let you send on Twitch? That's interesting. But yeah, you're right. Morning, Panda. Morning. So, as I was saying, right, focusing on this example, I would search Ankit's name in my phone because I don't remember the phone number. I know the name. Same thing. Because you want to use Google services, Facebook services, or any service, right? You don't remember what their IP address of the server looks like. What you remember is their name of the service, right? Google.com, or you remember Facebook.com, right? You know the service name. So how this works, just like in your phone, where a name is connected to a phone number, the domain name system does the same thing, right? Worldwide. What it does, you give it a name, google.com. It reaches a DNS server nearest to you, and it will find what IP address the google.com belongs to. Let's say if it was 12.3.4, let's say the address was this. It will get that from Google itself, unless until it already has it, and give you the IP address, and then you can directly talk to that server. This what happens behind the scene when you type something like this on here. Now this request is going to go to the DNS server, google.com, get the IP and this, right? Want to explain this because a lot of people don't understand. It's very important for this. So now what we are going to do, DNS Recon is going to automate, right, and help us find. I know DNS, but I want to know DNS position. What do you mean? I know DNS, but I want to know DNS position. What? Oh, DNS poison. Okay. That is another week. I can like create a reel about it. I want to create reels about small things like that. But we'll focus on DNS and how we can brute force this for today. Okay. Yo, he's a kid. Don't, no. Wrench, he's a kid. He's a kid. Okay. So we talked about DNS. Let's talk about like finding more domains, right? Now with DNS, we know that DNS knows about google.com. DNS system knows about what the IP address of Google. All good, boss. Google.com. What our job is, right? As a hacker, my job, I want to find if Google has any more subdomains. What I'm going to do using brute force method, I'm going to make request to the DNS server. Let's say if I want to see if shop.google.com is a thing. I want to see if Gemini.google.com is a thing. I want to see if let's say music.google.com is a thing, right? I want to know these things. So that's what DNS, like these brute force methods will help us do. And we already have a tool to help us automate this called DNS Recon. And what we are using, we are going to use -t. I don't know what -t stands for. Oh, flag. Let's see, -t doesn't mean like just the method or type. Okay, the type of attack specifies the type of enumeration we want to perform. In this case, it would be brute force. Domain name, we are using Acme IT support.thm. So we'll start our tag. No file was specified with domain to check. So it's going to go back to its default file called at user shared DNS recon name list. And it found two records. One was API Acme IT support.thm with this IP, and another www Acme IT support thm at the same server. So probably our answer will be this API. Let's go here and see. Yep, it is. So I don't understand what happened in chat, but okay. Let's go to task 5, OSINT sublister. To speed up the process of OSINT subdomain discovery, we can automate above methods with the help of tools like sublister, which when we click on the button, we'll be able to see. So to open up the static website and run sublister simulation, discover a new subdomain that will help answer the questions below. I want to see if, one second lads, is sublister available in this? No. Okay. I think I have to start using my virtual machine to show these examples. It's okay. Okay, so we are just going to create a simulation of sublister. So sublister.py to call this script, -d for the domain name, and we'll just run this. So sublister started, coded by this guy. Enumeration, searching on various domains. Total unique subdomains found were web55, acme it support.tryhackme, and www, of course, right? So we'll take this. So sublister is going to find basically help us with the OSINT method, where like we were going on Google, we are going on Bing. It is going to do that and find stuff for us, which is nice, actually, pretty cool. Okay, task 6, the last method called virtual hosts. Some subdomains aren't always hosted in publicly accessible DNS results, such as development versions of web applications or administrative portals. Instead, the DNS record would be kept on a private DNS server or recorded on developer's machine in like file like /etc host. This is a file in your machine. Let me open the terminal and show you why this is important to note, because even I use this method, right? So if we go to cat/etc/hosts, this will see this is a local DNS system you have. So whenever, let's say if I want to go to this IP, right, or let's say I want to go to this domain, this is the IP is going to use, right? So this is your private DNS server on the local machine. Why it is important? Because a lot of times there is no domain associated with certain IP address, right? For example, your dev environment or your authentication environment. You do not want that to be public. They are attached to a public domain name. So you just do these methods like a local one, right? Because as a human, you can't remember the domain name, but you can't even give it a proper domain name. So you come up with methods like these to create your own DNS method. And it's really used in, like, I have worked with certain clients, multi-billion-dollar clients, and they do have same thing in their onboarding methods. So /etc host file or Windows system drivers /etc host file for Windows users, which maps domain names to IP addresses. Because web servers can host multiple websites from one server, when a website is requested from a client, right? So a web server like Facebook will have shop.facebook, facebook.com, and instagram.com, right? So one server can handle those things. The server knows which website the client wants from the host header. We can utilize this host header by making changes to it and monitoring the response to see if we have discovered a new website. Like with DNS brute force, we can automate this process using word list of commonly used subdomains. There is so many word lists, but like I think a great one to start with is like seclist on GitHub. You will find. Just keep that. Gustavo, what's up, bro? I'll read all the chats properly. Just give me 1 minute once I finish this. So, like the DNS brute force, we can automate this process by using a word list of commonly used subdomains. Start the tag box and try the following command using against the Acme IT support machine, right? And discover new subdomains. So we are using FUF with the word list here. Gustafa, that's the right word. Okay, thank you. Howdy, bro. Gustavo? Okay, Gustavo. I was right in the first way. Okay. Howdy, bro. So we are using FUF word list, and we are mentioning the host and the IP address of it. So we have FUF name list, right? Here you can see. Let me. Sorry, let's give me 1 sec. Okay, now it's right. So we have FUF with the word list, and H as the host name where we want FUF to be, where the words will be going. It will be going in replacing fuzz and then Acme IT support and the IP address. So let's start this. And it's searching through all these names. Right? So many. Okay. Found something here. Why it found something here? These are line 52. Everything is same. But here, yellow is different. Okay. So if we go at the top, just the yellow one is a different, comes with the different size. Oh, yes. I love CVEs, man. That was my project in my university last year. Yeah, right now I'm into cert. I want to get my certification, so in future I have job opportunities in cybersecurity. But I am interested in CVEs specifically, and even exploits, right? So we started our stuff, right? The above command uses -w to tell what word list to use. I started this like on like January, so we are working towards penetration tester 1. I'll give you a more idea. Let's finish this task and I'll give you exactly all the information, right? So -w is to specify the word list we are going to use. -h here is the host, right? Header, where we mention that, okay, we want to replace fuzz here, right? We have first keyword in the space where the subdomain word normally go, and this is where we will try all our options. So this is the one getting substituted with all the words from the word list. Because the above command will always produce a valid result, we need to filter out what we can see. We can do this using the page size, just like we saw in R1, right? Yellow had a different page size, 56, compared to these ones. This I believe is 404. Oh, we were not able to find 404, 404, right? With the FS switch, edit the below line, right, with the FS switch with the most occurring size value from the previous result and try it in the attack box. So here we are just going to give remove results of this size. So let's copy that. -FS, and I believe it was 2395. 2395. So you see, we only see 2, delta and yellow as our results. Okay, have a good one, Wrench. Peace out, bro. See you tomorrow. This command has a similar syntax to the first part, FS switch, which tells FUF to ignore any results that are of specified size. The above command should have revealed 2 positive results that we haven't came across before. The first domain discovered was delta. Second was yellow. Beautiful. Okay, Gustavo, you were saying when I started, yes, in 2 days ago, what we are doing, I have a Discord channel. I have a Discord server. I'll mention here. Right, in the Discord, I gave a PDF file. This is a PDF file which will help you determine, like, these are the stuff we are going to cover for the penetration tester 1 certificate, which I want to give hopefully by, let's say, August. That's my plan. Right now we are covering web pen testing. We haven't covered these red concepts and stuff. I started with web pen testing because we covered some of it last year, right? So it's easy to get started with. Right now we are covering introduction to web hacking. Then we'll move to PortSwigger so that we can cover some more topics and attacks, and upload virus tutorial is another room on TryHackMe. So this is a bunch of stuff we are going to cover, right? And yeah, the name of the certification. And we are taking like 2-3 minutes break. I'll answer all the questions you guys have, and then we'll start with the next room. PT1, actually, I'll just search. So junior penetration tester PT1 certificate. This is what I'm going for. The offense is certified, that gets you hired, whatever. But yeah, this is the certificate, and it has a learning path, recommended paths and stuff. So I even use those while including in my path for this. So for next 8 months, I'm just hitting all the contents required for penetration tester 1 certificate, including web pen testing, report writing, Active Directory enumeration, attacking, various types of attack with Active Directory, and even red team concepts, right? Various tools like Burp Suite. So all those stuff required for a pen tester, a red team certificate. Hopefully that answers your question, right? Okay. So next in our, and this is the path I'm doing right now. Neon, there's got to be a better way than brute forcing. It works, but it's very noisy. Yes, there are like if you saw the sublister, right? It went through like Bing, Yahoo, Google to look for the subdomain mentioned in those search engines. So there are ways, 100%. But again, like brute force, sometimes you just want to do brute force to get it done, right? And brute force goes through DNS records and stuff as well. So it is noisy indeed, but it can still, like, if you, there must be, there you can use other methods to hide your tracks. That's the bottom line, right? Also, it will be nice. Have your own company. It's such a good what's this called? Ambition. That's great, man. Also, yes, wouldn't let me send this back to yes, noting that SSL TLS can be used nearly on all protocols based on TCP. Yes, so all protocols which use TCP are basically, TLS is basically, if you think about a sandwich, right? You have bread here, and there's so many more layers of like food in here, right? So TLS is like this internal layer, and your bread is basically various type of layers that use TCP, that are built on TCP, that you can get information like HTTP, right? That's the TL. Once you add TLS, it becomes HTTPS, right? Once you add this TLS layer. The same with FTP becoming SFTP, your transfer file transfer protocol, right? So there you indeed mentioned right. So a lot of certificates, a lot of protocols use these certificates, and it's good to understand, see what's going around, right? So if do you guys have any more questions, or shall we get started with authentication bypass? Assuming no questions, okay, let's get started with authentication bypass, another premium room, also in the Discord. Oh, nice. Nice. Also, there is a TryHackMe giveaway going in the Discord, right? And if you can participate, and if you win this, you can access all these premium rooms. You will be given the subscription for TryHackMe for a month, right? So do check out the Discord. Now, going on the brief, task 1 brief of authentication bypass by TryHackMe. Learn how to defeat logins and other authentication mechanisms to allow you to access to unpermitted areas. Task 1 brief. In this room, we will learn about different ways websites' authentication methods can be bypassed, defeated, or broken. These vulnerabilities can be some of the most critical, as it often ends in leaks of customer personal data. Start the machine and then proceed to the next task. So I'll start the machine in the next here as well. I'm using Brave, so it's easy for me to have a better view of the virtual machine, basically. And the machine has started, so that's good to know. Okay. Task 2, username enumeration. How many tasks are there? There are just 5 tasks for authentication bypass. There are a lot more ways, but these are, I will say, the basic ones they are covering. So task 2, user enumeration, a helpful exercise to complete when trying to find authentication vulnerabilities is creating a list of valid usernames, which we'll use later in other tasks. Website error messages are great resources for collating this information to build our list of usernames, right? Of valid usernames. We have a form to create a new user account. If we go to Acme IT support website, it is customers login, customer sign up for the sign up page. Sorry, once again, Naz, my brain just shut down for a second. Okay. So website error messages are great resource, right? So whenever you are even, let's say, trying to log in and mention that, okay, I want to log in as this user, website error message sometimes can give you more information like, hey, this type of username doesn't exist. Oh, really? Dude, yeah. One of the perks of living in Canada, I guess, right? It does. I see, yeah. I see the video I have on left. It is very clear. Damn. That's hilarious. Okay. Website error messages we were talking about, right? When you give a username. Yeah. Actually, I don't use a green screen. I'm using NVIDIA's broadcast app. And it creates a green screen effect for me. I don't have a green screen with me. I can share something quickly. I don't have a green screen behind me. I love AI, man. So many cool things can be done with AI and these things. It's just amazing. So, going back, right? When we go to a website, we enter the username. Let's say if we want to hack, we start with a username enumeration. We gave a username. And the error message comes is, this username does not exist. Great message for a hacker. Why? Because now we know if we are using we try various usernames and the one which doesn't say this thing, right? Or like say this username doesn't exist, we know that one is not, but others are. And it would give an error message for them as password incorrect or username password not matching, right? That's why a lot of websites have started implementing this method. It's like username if, and we can do the same thing with the reset link, right? Reset password link. What they do is they will mention the error message if the username information is wrong, the login info is wrong. They will say that, hey, this thing doesn't match our records. So we don't know if this username is present or not, or this password is correct or not. We don't know. We just know this doesn't match our record. That's all. And there's a lot more in depth you can go. Like, for example, how fast the response comes. Like if the username is wrong, the response comes in, let's say, 5 milliseconds. But if the password is wrong, it comes in 20 milliseconds. The username is correct, but password is wrong, right? So this one, username is wrong. In this, username is right, password is wrong. So that's a clue as well. So we can go very in depth of this thing because there's so many more attack methods people have come up with. But for now, because we are going to stick to our this thing, the room, let's cover that. And maybe in future months I have more good blogs. If I see, I can share in the Discord. And if you have any good blogs on all the methods people use for authentication bypass, feel free to send in the Discord. So we'll go to the customer sign up page on our virtual machine. Let's go there. Sorry, 1 second. I have to set up this correctly. So I have Firefox easily accessible. Okay. Beautiful. Anybody's like keeping an eye on the CES this year? Any cool things that came out? Okay. So this is our Firefox, right? We have this machine, customer sign up, Acme IT support, customer sign up, right? This is the page that opens up. Now, you already have an account. We can log in here and see what the error messages comes and stuff. So let's say if I have the username, test, and password, let's say test123. Login. Invalid username password combination, right? Now I'll go with admin and password, let's say password. Where is my, okay. Invalid username. So that's a good error message. Now going back, if you try entering the username admin and fill in the form field with fake information, you will see an error message. An account with this username already exists. Okay, going back then, if we go to sign up page, we go to sign up page and we see admin hello@123.com. Hello. Account with the username already exists. So we know admin is in the is already a user. We can use the existence of this error message to produce a list of valid usernames already signed up in the system using the fuzz tool below. The fuzz tool uses a list of commonly used usernames to check against for any matches. So we will have this command. I'll send it here as well. And let's break this command down a bit before. W, and we are using the word list. Then we have the post. Okay, so I'm using this way. So we first has the fuff with the word list we mentioned as names.txt. It's a post request. So hopefully you understand HTTP headers like get request, post request, right? Different type of requests in HTTP. -D, right? So D is the body of the post, right? This is the body of the post request where we say, hey, username should be this, replacing with fuzz, right? Email can be anything, doesn't matter. Password is anything, doesn't matter. And the confirm password with the same thing. What next is the -H, content type application. So again, a HTTP post thing. And then we have the URL, machine IP, customer sign up. And then what we are looking for is username already exists. This should be returned as the response to HTTP request, right? It's the reason I want to break these down, so because we learn properly as we go, right? So we have the machine IP we need, that's all left. Or actually copy this thing. Okay, we have the fuzz, word list, username, post request, content type, and our URL, which was missing. Let's run this and see. So it is going through so many requests. It's making through the total number of users it's going to is 10,000, right? So as this works, let's go next, move next to this. In the above example, -w argument selects the file location on the computer that contains the list of usernames that we are going to check exist, right? The -x argument specifies the request method. This will be a get request by default. So every time you use a tool like this, right, it's the default is the get request. But in this case, we need a post request, right? So that's why we have to mention with the -x that we are using a post request in our example. -d argument is the data, the body of the request that we are going to send. In our example, we have the username, email, password, and confirm password. When you go to the website itself, you see, right, username, email, password, confirm password. We have set the value of the username to first. In the fuf tool, the first keyword signifies where the content of our word list will be inserted in the request. The -h argument is used for adding additional headers to the request. In this instance, we are setting the content type so the web server knows we are sending form data. The -u argument specifies the URL we are making the request to. And finally, -mr argument is the text on the page we are looking for when the valid username comes. So there will be multiple texts, right? What specific text we are looking for in the response page. The fuf tool and the word list come from the fuf tool and the word list come pre-installed on the tag box, or you can actually download fuf on your machine from this link. It's GitHub, so it's pretty safe if I post it here, right? Create a file called validusername.txt and add the usernames that you found using fuf. These are going to be used in task 3 below. Okay. Hopefully you guys understand what we are doing, right? We saw how the page looks like. We saw the error message when a username already exists. What is the error message come, right? We did that manually for one. Now what we did is looked at like a tool like fuf to get our answers. Okay, and we have okay. I want to check one thing. Insomnia. Would GoBuster work the same way if you extend the first word to GoBuster? Yes. GoBuster is going to work the same way. The only reason I'm using fuf right now is because they have already using fuf. But GoBuster, I prefer GoBuster, honestly. And GoBuster is better. In my opinion, it's just faster. Using Go and stuff, right? I don't know what fuf uses. So we see here admin, Robert, Simon, and Steve as our users. So what I'm going to do, nano valid usernames.txt. I'm going to have all those here. Actually, should have done this. Admin, Robert, Simon, Steve. Admin, Robert, Simon, Steve. Okay. So if I see all the usernames added from our results, right? Now let's answer the questions. What is the username with SI? It is Simon. Next is Steve. Next is Robert. Are you guys able to follow? Is the speed good for you guys? You are able to follow what I'm explaining, what I'm doing, or you want me to go a bit slower, or anything else? You want me to wait for a couple of seconds so you get the names? You want that? If you want just the names, here are the names: Admin, Robert, Steve, and Simon. Let me know if you want me to go faster, slower, or this pace is good. Because I'm testing like with this pace, so. Oh, co-host, what's up, homie? Thank you. Okay, we'll keep the same pace then. So task 3, brute force. Using valid usernames.txt file we generated in the previous task, we can now use this to attempt a brute force attack on the login page. Note, if you created your valid usernames file by piping the output from first directly, you may have difficulty with this task. Clean your data and copy the names into a new file. What they mean here is, a lot of time, what as a person, right, as a hacker, what we do something called this. If you see, this is called a pipe, right? And I can just say, okay, add it to the valid dot. All the output from this should be added to valid usernames or stuff. But what will happen in that case is there will be all these things will also be added, which I don't want in my system, right? So we do that manually. Sometimes it's better to do these things manually. You can just copy paste, honestly. And I think GoBuster is better, right, with the output in this case. Insomnia, can you confirm GoBuster will we can pipe directly, right? Or anybody else? Or no? Okay, but going back, right? A brute force attack is an automated process that tries a list of commonly used passwords against either a single username or, like in our case, a list of usernames, right? Yeah, okay. When running this command, make sure the terminal is in the same directory as the valid usernames.txt file. So if you are, let's say, using FUF, right, and you want to use valid usernames.txt, you have to make sure either it's in the same one with the -o. Yes, we have to use either. If you want to use the valid username like this, good. If not, you can give the path. So kind of incorrect. You don't have to be in the same directory. You just have to give the path correctly. Because here in the above one, we were not in the same directory as this, right? We changed the directory. So just explaining you what it is. Here, important. Oh, actually, this might be a good one. I have to break this one down as well. Now, this is like a good thing with FUF. I like. Have a look at this. Okay, now let's break down the command we will be using for this. This is not. We are using the FUF, right? What word list we are using? We are actually going to use two word lists. One is valid usernames.txt, and see there is a colon here with the W1. So first word. Next we are using is another list, right? But for passwords. If you see common user share word list security passwords, 10 million password list, top 100 passwords, right? And word 2, right? Word 1, word 2. Remember this. Again, a post request, and see the data here. The body data we are sending is username should be coming from valid usernames, right? And password should be coming from W2. Content type is this. Content type application, this is just a normal HTTP request. And then HTTP machine IP and customer login. The URL and FC. The content, I think, FC FUF. Maybe meaning. What is the FC meaning? Sorry, I want to just make sure what FC flag meaning is. Status code. Okay. Status code, so it should be 200 OK. Got it. So that means, let's say if you are using usernames and password, whichever login was successful, give a 200 error, 200 response code, and that's what we care about. We don't care about the responses which were not valid, right? Just going to copy this from here. Paste. So we only are looking for, if you see up here, matcher, right? It will match all these status code, but filter out only what I care about, the 200 response status, right? Went through things and see we got Steve and Thunder as a valid username and login. And this is, I'll just give you guys this. I don't know if I can send it here. Should work. Okay, it's working. That's good. Oh, YouTube doesn't allow the full one. Okay, great, YouTube. I'll just send you the link anyways properly. So it went to application. I'll send from here. This is the command. Just because of YouTube, I have to send the command from. Oh, wait, didn't come again. Here, from the -h part. See how caring I am. Okay, so we got Steve and Thunder as our username, the correct credential. This fuzz command is a little different than previous one, right? Previously, we used fuzz keyword to select where the request data from the word list should be inserted. But because we have multiple word lists, we have to specify our own fuzz keyword. In this case, we are choosing W1, right? We could use fuzz1, fuzz2. We are just using W1 for the username and W2 for the list of passwords. The multiple word lists are again specified with -W, right? And separated by a comma. For a positive match, we are filtering out with -FC flag to 200 status code. Running the above command will find a single working username password. Let's give that Steve and Thunder. Next is task 4 and 5 are left, so we are very near. Cookie tampering. What is logic? What is a logic flaw? Sometimes authentication processes contain logic flaws. A logic flaw is when the typical logical path of an application is either bypassed, circumvented, or manipulated by a hacker. Logic flaw can exist in any area of a website, but we are going to concentrate our example relating to authentication in this instance. So logic flaw could be like, there could be logic issues when, like, you know, on Facebook regarding changing the timeline and stuff. Yo, KB Lam, thank you so much for joining, man. Welcome to the family. So we have authentication bypass, right? That's where we are focusing. But logic flaw can happen, let's say in Facebook, we can have in their games, in the marketplace, in so many places, logic flaw can happen. We are focusing on Facebook's login, like giving you example, like the login part of it. Awesome. So here's the image of it, the hacker's path. So step 1 for somebody, a normal intended path would be you enter your username, you enter your password, you confirm the OTP on your, let's say, email ID or your phone number, and then you are able to see. A hacker's path is from the login page directly able to go to your path, like your timeline, right? So that's what our aim is also the same. Logic flaw example here. The below mock code example checks to see whether the start of the path the client is visiting begins with /admin. If so, then further checks are made to see whether the client is in fact an admin. If the page doesn't begin with /admin, the page is shown to the client here. Oh, it's because of the code. It's like that, this way. So this is basically how the code looks like, right? What they are saying, hey, whenever somebody type the URL, is the first 6 characters, right, is admin? If yes, check the username is an admin, right? If not, just go to the page. Really bad in so many ways. Just go to the page. I could be anybody else and I will still be shown their page, right? Because the above PHP code example uses triple equal sign, is looking for an exact match on the string, including the same letter casing. So what it means is admin. Sorry, let me use this. Because of this triple sign, what it means is admin is not same as admin. Remember, the case, it's case sensitive as well, is going to treat this admin different than this admin. But in reality, in the web, right, if I actually go and access this one with a capital A here, let me quickly remove these. If I access with capital A, I will be able to access the admin page and bypass this check, right? Because it's case sensitive. It should be insensitive, right? That's the whole idea here. The code presents a logic flaw because an unauthenticated user requesting AD capital MIN will not have the privilege checked and have the page displayed to them, totally bypassing the authentication checks, right? A better way would be either just have 2 equals or just have URL, right? Make this whole thing lowercase before checking the equals. Logic flaw practical. We are going to examine the reset password function of Acme IT support website. Here at the reset URL, we see a form asking for the email address associated with the account on which we wish to perform the password reset. If an invalid email is entered, you will receive the error message account not found from the supplied email address. Yo bro, I have a Tim make videos, don't do live. I know. Actually, I'll give you the answer for this, Ankit. I'll give you a proper answer. I know what you are saying, but I will explain you what is the thing. Okay. So first here, if a valid email is entered, you will receive the error message account not found from the supplied email address. For demonstration purposes, we'll use the email address robert@acmeitsupport.thm, which is accepted. We are then presented with the next page of the form, which asks for username associated with this account, login email address. If we enter Robert as the username and press check the username button, we'll be presented with confirmation message that a password reset email was sent to Robert Acme IT support, like this. At this stage, you will be wondering what the vulnerability could be in this application, as you have to know both email address and the username. And then password link is sent to the email address to the account owner, the one who has Robert at Acme IT support. This walkthrough will require running both curl request on the attack box, which can be opened using the blue button above. In the second step, we will have reset email process sent, the username submitted in the post field to the web server, and the email address is sent in the query string of the request. Okay, so basically what they mean is curl will get use the curl to get the reset password with Robert, right, and content type and blah 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 with the username in the body. Let's illustrate this below, and then once we have this first one done with the curl request, second step for the reset email process, the username submitted in the post field of the web server and the email is sent in the query string. So username in the post, this is the query string here. We use the -h flag to add additional header to the request. In this case, we are setting content type as this, which lets the web server know we are sending form data so it properly understands our request. Okay. In the application, the user account is retrieved using the query string, but later on in the application logic, the password reset email is sent using the data found in PHP variable. Okay, now I have to draw a full picture for you guys. Okay, so what we have is first step, right? We send the email address and the username. Like if you go on the web server, right? You send the email and username to the web server for the reset, right? What we are going to do, we are going to do the same thing but using something called curl. Curl is basically through terminal we'll try to do this, right? Once we do this, right, once the setup is done, we are also in our curl request mentioning that it's a form, because on the website we are going through a form. So in our curl request also we have to make sure exact request is sent, right, in the form method. So this is the web server, to the web server can process it properly. Then one thing we know is that web server is using PHP as the language, right, the server side language for accessing all these requests, processing all these requests, right, and a variable called request. I think that's how it's sent. This is the way, request or whatever the way it is. And there is a flaw there. That's the whole idea we are going to use, because PHP has a flaw in itself, the way it's implemented. So we are going to use that flaw to access, right? So if you see, so curl request is made, right, so that username and password with a post request is sent, right? Then we are mentioning that it's a form, right, to the web server, that send it in the form method, right, like a user form. Then the user account is retrieved using the query string, right? But later on in the application logic in the server side, the password reset email is sent using data found in PHP variable. So at the back end, we know PHP is being used. The PHP request variable is an array that contains data received from query string. So the string we sent here, this part, and the post data. The application logic for the variable favors post data fields rather than the query string. So it will care more about what is the username over the email address, not the right logic, and that's the thing we are going to exploit. So if we have another parameter to the post form, we can control the password reset process, right? So in which we have Acme IT support, username Robert, and email here. So we are sending email in the query string. For people who don't understand what I mean by query string versus post, right, let me give you a proper example. One sec. One question I have, like, should I learn Kali or Python? Like ChatGPT is saying to learn Python, some YouTubers telling to go with Kali first. I'll It's a big answer I will give you. I think I have a good detailed answer for it. Give me 1 minute. I'm very much done with this task, and then I can give you a very good answer for it, right? And give you a path. You can make the decision. Okay. Awesome. So when we see this HTTP request here, right? You see there is this question mark here, right? When I'm going to try hack me, I don't see any question mark here. Then why there is a question mark? What is the significance of this question mark? That's our game. The question mark shows that this is a query string. In HTTP, when you see in the URL a question mark and you see the next thing will be a variable, and we are setting the value of that variable, right? So we are setting the value of this variable email, right, as Robert at Acme IT support, and this is called query. Next is this -d, the body data. This is the request body, and what we know from our past, right, is that in PHP, this is preferred over query string. So now PHP have to make a request, right? PHP has to decide that, hey, I know I have to set the username. I have to reset the password for username Robert, right? Robert needs a new password. Which email to use? Technically, the better way would be for username. It should go in the database and return that. But what it is doing is that, hey, I have two choices, one in this and one in the query string. I'm going to use the attacker one. That's how it is by default. So it goes to the attacker. So that's the logic we are going to, the problem in the logic we are going to take advantage of to get the reset link of the password. For the next step, you will need to create an account, right? On Acme IT support. Doing so gives a unique email address, right, that can be used to create support tickets. Email address, first let's do this. You have to put the format this. Now rerunning the curl request with your own Acme IT support email address field, you will have to create a ticket created with your account which contains a link to log you in as Robert. Okay, so what is happening is attacker dot whatever, like we have the email, right? We are going to put that email. We created a username and we are going to put that email just like the attacker at at Acme IT support we had. We are going to put our email to get the email address. They didn't explain properly in my opinion, this one. Okay, whatever. So we have customer login, right? We are going to go to the already have account, reset password. Account email we have is Robert at Acme IT support .thm, right? Checking the email, yes, the email pass and the username. Our job here is to confirm this is actually working, right? This is the correct email. This is the correct username associated with that email. Now what we do is grab this curl request and reset the password, right? Curl the email of Robert. This is how it should be, right? And this is the response, whatever we got. Customer login, IT support. I want to see. We'll send you a reset email to this email, right? That's where what you are looking. What I'm going to do now, in this, I'll add and email equals whatever the email I wanted. Let's say attacker at hacker.com, right? If I send that, this is all I'm trying. I don't have the attacker at hacker.com, right? But my job here is to make sure this is going to work when the real time comes. Here, will send the reset email to attacker@hacker.com. So our logic that is going to use the body parameter of email over the query parameter of the email. Right? So this is our POC, proof of concept that it will work. Now what we are going to do is create our account in that system. Okay. We go here, customer login. Right now we have next step, you will create an account. So our account will create, sign up here. Let's say I create the account as attacker. Oh. Attacker. Email is attacker at, let me give the email here itself. Okay, so as soon as I log in, I can have this. So it doesn't matter what I give here. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now this is the login of the customer. If you see, the tickets are created using below button or by sending an email to your custom address, right? So I got an email, attacker@customer@acmeitsupport.thm. This is similar, when you go to Apple, you get an iCloud email. Google, you get a Gmail email, right? So that's what we are going to use in our next method. So earlier we had attacker@hacker.com. Now we are going to use attacker@customer@acmeitsupport, and we'll get the email here. You will send you a reset email to attacker@customer, this one. So let's go back to our system here and see, did we get anything? Let's refresh. So you see password reset, we got this, and we see our stuff here. Sorry. We see support ticket that was here, password reset, created on this, and here is more information about this, which because of the great website is hard. We have received a request to reset your password. This is request for Robert, and we got the what we have to do. Please visit this customer reset at this to automatically log in, and then you can reset the password in your account page. So I copy this. I'm going to open in incognito mode so the cookies don't clash. Here, your account, Robert, you see, and new password, let's say 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. Update password. Now I can also go in Acme IT support, and I got a New Year ticket which has the flag TryHackMe auth bypass complete. And this is our answer, right? Cookie tampering, probably, do you want to do it today? Should we do it tomorrow? Your guys' call. But Ankit, let me answer your questions, right? Two questions you asked were, why not create videos, and why do these live session? Because videos, I think, will get more views. That's your idea, right? And might be easier. The biggest reason why I do live streaming more than videos, first of all, like, it helps me be consistent, right? Because I know you guys are here at 8 a.m. my time, so it would be like 9 p.m. your time, 9:30 your time. It will make me consistent, like, and consistency, I think, is the biggest factor of like being amazing at your field, being like a top notch at your field versus being like average. That's my idea. So this is more for me as well. I'm consistently learning every day, Monday to Friday, along with you guys, and I'm explaining to you as well at the same time, So it's helping me revise the stuff. I want to make videos, yes, but and there will be some videos coming. Let's say cloud development and couple of other CTF videos will be coming this year. And I hired some editor in India to help me with it. So videos will be coming, but I want to be the best in hacking. I want to win DEF CON Black Badge. For that, I have to be consistent, and live streaming, I think, is a great way. That's just my thing. Yo, unknown, what's up, bro? Also, your another question was, I have some people say you have to learn Kali versus Python, right? ChatGPT has its answers. Certain YouTubers have answers. I'll tell you this. Depends on what type of hacking you want to do. I can send you a video. And there is like a field in hacking called social engineering. Right? Social engineering is that type of hacking. Is hacking in the human brain almost, right? Working using psychology and trust to get inside various places without using a single line of code. So it doesn't matter if you know Kali, you don't have to know Kali for this, you don't have to know Python for this, right? What you need to know is how to psychologically do this. Why I mention this, right? You can pick your own path, what you want to learn. First method in my personal way, right? Understand hacking. Understand what are all the fields about hacking are. What are all the things that excite you? Because hacking has social engineering. Hacking has web pen testing, right? Bug bounty, let's say. Hacking has pure red team stuff, like, but at network level. Like, for example, network security or network hacking. In this case, you probably have to learn less of web and more of networking. And there's more fields, right? If you have a new, if you are new, pick up Linux distro, then learn about. But I think the question his remain will be like, should I learn Python versus this? That's a great question. And yes, you can pick a Linux one, right? You can pick Linux, you can pick Python. My idea is first understand hacking. First understand what are the things that excite you about hacking. Which of these you like, you know what, this resonate to me. This specific thing, the reason I like web hacking a lot, I'm a front-end developer. Mostly, like I'm a full stack developer, but most of my experience is in front end. I love it. And second thing I love a lot is cloud, which is again another one. Another field is cloud pen testing, right? So cloud is also, those two things I love. Those are my development experience, and those are the security I want to do. I don't see myself being a network security engineer because I'm not very into, I like networks, right? I understand them, but I can't be like, I don't want to spend my whole life in networking. I just don't see myself that way. So my idea is learn about computer science and hacking, right? A little bit what are the various fields. Pick one and then come to me. If you are like, yo, I want to go in pure hacking and stuff. Yeah, I will say start with Linux fundamentals. Right? Yeah, you should first know which side you want to pick, right? Because in social engineering, you won't even be writing a single line of code, right? I think blue or red also, like first I will say, let's say if I may, right? I will say learn about Linux fundamentals, right? And go through things like get comfortable with the terminal, right? Get comfortable with the terminal, things like, what's that? Bandit. Bandit is amazing. It will take you time, right? It will take you time, but Bandit is amazing to start with over the wire. Go with this one if you want to get comfortable with Linux. Because Python, you will need to start, like, if you want to do Python, right? Learn how rubber ducky scripts are done in Python. Look about these things, right? Yeah, don't pick sides, pick a specific role. Pick the field. Yeah. Pick a field, pick a specific role. Whether social engineer you want to be, network engineer you want to be and stuff, right? Once you pick it, then go into that field, but like get a taste of everything. It's like, going in a buffet system, right? Taste all the different things that are out there little by little. Just get a taste of it, right? Look at the videos. Once you pick which is your favorite, 1 or 2 or 3, just take those, a bunch of those, and go hard on these. Ignore these two. Just completely ignore these two. Pick hard on these. Come then, like once you know all the fields, and then come to me, and then I can give you a better answer. Yeah, you don't need to learn you don't need to learn Kali or Linux, Python, right? Python, Linux, Java, JavaScript. And you don't need to learn any of these. I know people who are not good with Python, but they are amazing at assembly. One of them works for Project Zero at Google. This is like if you are in Google Project Zero, you have made it big in cybersecurity, I will say, right? You will learn, yes, that's a good one by unknown, right? You will learn them anyways, but I will say like this is assembly. Assemblies is like zeros and ones and like very instruction level, very low level coding. They don't know about Python, they know about assembly. That's where they do malware analysis. That's also another field. So I will say get a taste of all these. Look, what are the various hacking things are there? What are the fields? Social engineering, network security, blah, blah, blah. Then come to me in Discord and then I can give you a better map. I can create a better map with you in this. Okay. Hopefully that answers your question. And yeah, that's all I have for you in that regard. If you ask, if you are new to IT, then learn fundamentals of IT first. Yeah, he's in 10th grade. I think like it's better for him to just watch some YouTube videos of conferences. Look at conferences too. DEF CON, Black Hat. Look at these conferences, right? Get to know what they do, right? And you will know. What's up, bro? Yeah, 10th grade, that's amazing if he's interested in these things. I was watching Shin-chan and Doraemon at that age. Yeah, start with computer science, like based on how much you know about computers too. But I think like just look at a lot of CS50. That's a good one. Look at DEF CON videos. Try to understand what they are saying, and then you will be in a good position to talk, and we can plan it out. But don't worry about like, oh, will I make the right choice right now? You don't have to make the right choice. You have to make a choice. That's all you have to do. Make a choice. Make sure you work hard on it. If you spend, let's say, 1,000 hours on that choice, right? You will know if it was right or not. But with 1,000 hours, you will know so much about it. You can use it 1,000 other places. So make sure, pick a choice, and then we'll talk. Okay? You hear, bro? Ankit, that answers your question, hopefully. Okay, and let's go to task 5 because we are running a lot out of time. So let's go on task 5, cookie tampering. And then we'll end the stream after a 5-minute break. Okay. So task 5, cookie tampering. Examining and editing the cookie set. No, I think conferences are. The reason I will say this, I'll give you an exact video which I like about this. These like don't go hard on the conference like actual conferences, but this video is actually going to be helpful. I think I've shared it like a couple of times before, but have a look at this video when you guys get a time. This gives you an idea of what without much of coding things can be done, right? So those are the videos. Yeah, like don't go hard on like DEF CON, really hardcore, really big videos, because it took me 40 times listening to one to understand it. And I was in university already then. So yeah, look at something like this and try to understand what those things are. Okay, going back to task 5, cookie tampering. Let me grab some water first. Examining and editing the cookies set by the web server during your online session can have multiple outcomes, such as an unauthenticated access, access to another user's accounts, or elevated privileges. If you need a refresher on cookies, go to HTTP in detail room on task 6. Cookies, one second. So task 6 here, cookies, will give you information about what cookies are in this room. I'll send it here. But to give you an idea, right? When you logged in your Facebook or Amazon, right? Let's say you are in your Amazon account. You visit Amazon.com. You enter your login, username, and password, right? You enter your username and password. You logged in. Now you don't have to, every time you click on a thing, every time you add something to your cart, every time you buy something, you don't have to keep on adding your username and password, right? Why? Because when you enter it for the first time, Amazon.com will send you cookies to your browser, right? So you don't have to again cart, buy, right? That's the same how, let's say if I go on facebook.com right now or any of the website, the cookies are already in the browser. I don't have to keep on authenticating myself, right? Those are cookies in nutshell. Special information set up in your browser so you don't have to keep on logging in. That's why it is said don't use public computers and services, because sometimes, right, you can just, even if the computer is good, right, there is no virus on it, if you left your username and password, right, like logged, you are still logged in there, the cookies somebody can grab, right? Plain text. The contents of some cookies can be in plain text, and it is obvious what they do. Take for example, if these are cookies set up after a successful login, right? Logged in equal to max age for how long the login will work, right? And also admin equals false. This is the cookie set up by one of the servers. Now imagine what I will be able to do. Awesome. I'm sorry, my answers are not always like straightforward. Do this. I want you to like find your own path. So, and you can ask me after that, right? If you're still confused, let me know. We can have a one-on-one chat in Discord. Okay. Now, this is one of the cookies. This is cookie number 1. To imagine what I can do if I set this false to true. Right? So important to know about cookies, right? We can see one cookie logged in, which appears in to control whether the user is currently logged in or not. So here also, if I change it, this is already true, but let's say if it was false and that becomes true. And another one for admin, which controls whether the visitor can has admin privileges. Using this logic, if we were to change the contents of the cookies and make a request, you will be able to change your privileges. First, we'll start just by requesting the target page. Here, cookies are actually important. This is something I did recently. I got logged into one of the website, a social media website, and I did a lot of crawling on there. Got a lot of specifically videos on them through just Python script and cookies. So it's very important. There are some web what's it called, plugins to help you get these cookies downloaded properly and stuff, so you can do those scripting. It's fun. It's fun. So cookies can help you as a developer as well, big time. Okay. Going back, here we have our stuff. Machine IP. I don't remember that. Okay, we are going to make a curl request here. Curl request to this and cookie test, right? That's the URL there. You are not logged in. I'm not logged in here on this specific server. Okay. We are given the message logged in as a user. Wait, why did I got not logged in? Okay. Let me log in again. Sorry lads, give me 1 sec. Not logged in, so what I will do, I will go to the previous one with Robert and the... Can I log in directly? Oh no. Let's see what they want from us first. Oh, here, not logged in. Okay, sorry. Now we'll send another request with the logged in cookie set to true and the admin cookie set to false. Right? So H, right, with our information, basically the header information, right? Certain extra information we are going to send in this one. So okay, great. Sorry lads, this is taking a little bit extra time. So I have this curl cookie admin equals false. Let's see cookie test. Now we get logged in as a user, right? Now we are given logged in as a user. Finally, we'll send another request with admin equals true, and this should return us logged in as admin as a new, as well as the flag we can use to answer the question 1. I don't know why this is always coming up like this. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with this terminal right now. So in this, we have logged in as true and admin as true as well. Logged in as admin with the response of our flag as cookie tampering. Okay, great. Let's answer this here. Okay. Now, sometimes cookie values can be long string of random characters. So that, right, somebody is not able to just directly see what is login as true is being returned from the server or admin equals true is being returned from the server. They do something called encoding. Encoding is basically randomizing stuff, right, by going through certain mathematical functions, right, and see, it will create, we can send some information, let's say logged in as true, and we will return a random string of characters. That's what encoding is. Random characters, right? A long string of random characters. These are called hashes, which are irreversible presentation of original text. Always, when you put in through a particular algorithm a certain string, you will always get the same output, right? That's a big thing important to know about hashing. Here are some examples that you may have came across. MD5 algorithm, SHA-256, 512, SHA-1. You saw this regarding the certificates earlier, right? SHA-256 and 512. We can see from above table that hash output from the same thing, same input string can significantly differ depending on the hash method in use. Even though hash is irreversible, the same output is produced every time, which is helpful for services like crackstation.net. Is a one, let's say hash, let's say I don't know what is the hash of this, right? This, I don't know what this string represent, what is this hash come from, right? But I know one thing, if let's say I can do a brute force method, right, create a table of every single string, I will be able to find it, right? So that's what CrackStation is a big table, is a big dictionary of various hashes and corresponding words. So we see result as 1. And these are all it supports, MD5, SHA-256. So we'll take another example of SHA-256. What is the result? 1. all these name is basically means ones, right? String, original string is 1. This is the output. Encoding is similar to hashing in that it creates what would seem to be a random string of text, right? Similar to hashing, but in fact, encoding is reversible. We can reverse whatever is given to us. So it begs the question, what is the point of encoding? Why we need to encode instead of hashing when something is irreversible? Depends on the application, right? Encoding allows us to convert binary data into human readable text that can be easily and safely transmitted over mediums that only supports text ASCII characters, right? Hopefully that answers. If it does not, right? Let me give you a good example. Information, right? Why do we have YouTube videos for information? Yo, thank you so much for following, mate. But why do we have YouTube videos for information? Why do we not just have encyclopedias or textbooks, right? Everyone has a different way of learning. There is different purpose it is serving. Some people like animation more, some people like reading more, right? Serves a different purpose. So based on the purpose, what your target is, you want to pick one or the other. So that's basically why to use one over the other. Now encoding, what they mean, right, is that we can encode something and get it back. Moreover, over the internet, it's easy to transmit encoded characters, which are ASCII. Hope you know ASCII, right? If not, just search ASCII, you will get the idea. Reviews, what's up, bro? Do you want me to explain something again? I would love to explain, give you guys the idea when encoding is used, when hashing is used. I can give you that. But mostly encoding is used for cookies because we can encode something and get it back and see the information, right? Common encoding techniques are base 32, base 64, which converts binary data to characters like A to Z and 2 to 7, and 64, which converts to these, right? Yeah, CyberChef it is. Yes. By the FBI of UK. CyberChef it is. Yeah, sounds good. Good for you, Ankit. Yeah, CyberChef we will cover later on. We have CyberChef as part of the things in our path, but CyberChef is a good thing to look into, right? Yeah, 100%. If you need any kind of guidance, feel free to come in the Discord and ask questions, okay? And stay consistent. That's the most important thing. If you want to be big, stay consistent. Take the below data as an example set up by the web server upon logging in. So we get a session cookie as this. We see two equal signs. I know I'm thinking of base 64 at the end, right? Age and path. No worries, man. No worries. I got you, man. You are like my little bro too. I got you, bro. So we have this string. The string base 64 decoded as value ID1 admin false. We can then encode this back with base 64 encoded, but instead of admin value false, we'll set it up as true and give us admin privileges. Okay. What is the value? So let's go back to this first. What is the text value of this MD5 hash? We'll go this. It is result is 463729. Here you go. What is the base 64 and decoded value of this? Here we will use CyberChef. In CyberChef, from base 64, right, we are reversing and we get THM base 64 encoding. Encode the following value using base 64. So we have this value. If you remember, right, I'll delete this. To base 64. Admin equals true. But one thing I want to show is, let's say if it was admin equals false, what will be the value we get? Oh, I have to remove spaces as well. Remember, spaces also adds. You see this. Let's do a control F. should be equal. Did something wrong? XO. Okay, let's see what this value was. This was admin 1. I don't know why they were different values. So why not come? There's a space. Okay. Thank you, boss. Yeah, so basically it was the same thing. Thank you, bro. So for admin equals 1 and ID equals 1 and admin as true, 2 base 64, this will be our value. Perfectly fits. Bingo. So our another room complete, authentication bypass. So hopefully you guys learned something, right? Oh, I had that. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, bro. The extra space between colon and F. Okay. Gotcha. Can we go reverse? No. Okay. But I see like there was like a space here. Got it. So yeah, even one single thing can take things way far apart. Okay. So this is great. We made progress on walking an application, content discovery, subdomain and stuff. Don't worry about this. We are doing them again. I did them just so I know what they are earlier. Tomorrow we'll cover specifically IDOR information. So also one more thing, lads. IDOR, I might actually look, either we might do 2 of these, or what I will do, I will look for something in PortSwinger's website and might cover IDOR in more detail, right? That I will do that because I think we should have done this for subdomain and stuff. That's my bad, we didn't. But 100% for IDOR, it will be just IDOR TryHackMe as well as IDOR from PortSwinger, right? And good part is PortSwinger is free, so should be good in that terms. Hopefully you guys learned. Thank you so much for this lovely emojis. Also, do you guys have any last questions before I turn? Yeah, everybody loves that, right? Okay. Do you guys have any last questions for me before I end the stream? And if you have any requests or would like to join the Discord, here it is. There is a giveaway going on for TryHackMe 1 month subscription right now, and it will be every month. Yeah, hopefully I can run it. That yeah, I think that's all, right? And we'll cover PortSwinger tomorrow. That will be a lot of good information. Till then, I don't have anything else. That's all I have, right? Hopefully you guys learned. Do you know any IT support or help desk guy? IT support. I don't know. I have a friend here who worked during the university. We have student positions in the university itself. I think he worked at IT support, if I'm not wrong. If you have any questions, I can let him know and get back to you if you like. Or you can ask in the Discord, bro. There will be some. I know there are. I think there is somebody who is in IT support, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. Let me know if you have any questions. I will ask him too. I can just personally message. That person is not on Discord itself, so it would be hard to make him join the Discord of hackers. But yeah. Okay. Sweet. Sounds good, mate. Okay, with that being said, thank you so much everyone for joining today. Yeah, on Friday though, this Friday, we'll be doing some CTF challenges related to web hacking specifically. So do join that. I don't care how much time it takes, even if it can take like 3 hours. We'll try to complete one whole room. And we'll for tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, we'll keep focusing towards our penetration tester 1 journey, PD1. Okay. With that being said, a big thanks to everyone for joining. Right. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another great session on hacking, and in the evening for Lead Code or Die. Till then, thank you so much. Have a good one. This is your favorite neighborhood hacker, censored hacker. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, send me the easy one. No, not right now. Not right now. I have to get some work done, boss. Work related. Have to go for corporate slavery. But till then, thank you so much, lads. This is your favorite neighborhood hacker, censored hacker, sniffer of packets, taking your leave. Thank you and a big bye. Thank you so much, lads. Feel free to join the Discord and do join the giveaway. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Thanks, unknown. Thank you.